All right, guys. So good night, everyone, and welcome to the live. So right now, tonight is gonna be me and Akeem, and we may have some other persons passing through, but we just wanna, have a little talk about what has been going on with ASB elections. We know the campaign has ended for the. Mm, we know the campaign has come to a close for the candidates, and tomorrow is election day. Will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So those of you that are on the list to vote, please ensure that you do. So we're gonna get into it. So
Yes, you getting titled on?
all right, great. So Akim, how are you feeling right now?
Normal as ever, Just excited to see what
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow brings.
Alright, great, 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 great. So we're gonna take a look at the official document that would have been released. So this is the official document from the university. So the SAC, which is the Student Advisory Council, is pleased to announce candidates for the upcoming ASB Elections 2025-2026, and elections is tomorrow. So we have two teams. We have Team Endeavor any members on Team Endeavor. So we have Team Endeavor, which has a total of 16 candidates, and we have Team Reform, which has a total of how many Team Reform members there? 12 or 13? Total of 13 members, and we have one independent candidate. So, Akim, tell me, what do you think of the team so far and the individuals that are going up for these positions on ESB?
Before
Hmm.
before I speak on that,
Nah.
I feel like we should make something very clear.
Nah.
Um,
What's that?
what I might say,
Hmm.
might make certain people feel a type way, but I'm a very straightforward person, so
Yep.
whoever take out whatever, I mean, hey, y'all just had to live with it.
Hmm.
But
And then
hmm?
yeah, and then a disclaimer: what we say here isn't infringing on. We're not bashing individual characters or anything. We're just speaking on the perspective of the individuals and the positions as to what they're vying for within the ASB. So nothing is to really be taken personally.
Yeah.
We're just giving our thoughts, our opinions on the subject and everything like that. So if there's any thoughts that you want to share that may differ, we
Feel free.
welcome it because we're being unbiased and very unfiltered here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
from the two teams, I'll be very honest with you. There's one team that's underestimating the other team.
Ah.
Well, that's from what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
I was there at the debate the day that happened as well.
Mm.
Was very disappointed, because I expected a lot from individuals that were on the ASB
Mm.
before.
Okay. Okay.
With the other team,
Mm.
I've seen that they are putting in the research,
Mm.
taking the time to ask the important questions. So right now it is really a in between with the
Yeah.
two.
It's really tight. It's really tight. Cause we're gonna get into the names of the teams. So Team Endeavor has always been one step ahead of Team Reform, and we can see that in the way they have been campaigning and stuff. Because Team Endeavor would have been able to put out their content and their manifesto before Team Reform. They'd have been able to do their live stream on Instagram before Team Reform. And they know that they have to put in the work to reach the students. So it seems as though Team Reform is a bit laid back when it comes to putting in the work and campaigning. We even have some of the members that, on the last minute release content and all of that stuff. Today, the chats was flooded. Everybody sending their stuff to advertise and campaign and everything like that. So it's clearly seen that, Team Reform has somewhat been a bit laid back when it comes to the whole campaign period and everything like that. But nevertheless, the debate was interesting. Team Endeavor pointed out, bridging the gap between, well, they spoke about the gap between the commuting students and also the dorm students. So what are your thoughts on that?
If I'm being very honest with you, that debate was something else. They spoke about a lot of issues. Before I answer your question, we to reach that question we have to speak about the question that Freddie asked each individual that day. Why is it that they are going up for the position, and how can they what was he saying, man? When he had asked them
was there a reason for
going
being on the ASB and that kind of thing?
I'm not going to lie to you, some of the responses to me, it was poor because for example, again, a lot of people that are going up for ASB this term, they have been on ASB before. So the question that we all have been asking is, okay, I mean, yes, you're saying, okay, you're a good leader, but where are your proof to show, hey, I've been here, I did the work, and I want to do this again in a different position so that I could do it better than I did it before. Nobody spoke about that. So that was a bit sad to see that, we could speak on being good leaders in leadership positions, but there was no proof to show, hey, I did this to leave an impact so that people that come after me and are there before, seeing, alright, progress is being made, to leave something for, you get what I say, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know what you think about.
I see. And then, we heard this team won USC and everything like that. So it's pretty it's thought provoking, because with the Team Reform, they have members that were there and stuff like that. And then the thing is, when it comes to their support, majority of their support is from the dorm and everything like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are they doing to reach the local audience? Because dorm students support dorm students and everything like that. So there is a gap between the dorm and, we haven't really heard much about it.
Why is that? I don't think how to explain that properly. I wouldn't say that it's a gap. I feel there wasn't really a concern, well, from the outside looking in. I don't think that was a concern for the last two ASB
True.
members that went up. It wasn't really a concern about bridging the gap. If you look at how things are going, There was no concern about that. And then we have individuals speaking about communication is a problem, better communication between the admin and the students in the school. That was never the problem, right? The problem is the communication is there, but where's the advertising? You can't have communication, and when this is me speaking when it comes in terms of doing stuff on the campus, advertising is poor, right? Most times it's either on the day of or a day before. Individuals would know what's going on. I mean, on dorm, people would know because the word's going to spread. But for outside, nobody really knows because advertising was poor. It is and still is poor on the campus. So my thing is, how are they going to fix that problem? That's the question I have been asking since the debate. The problem was never communication. It's advertising whatever that you're doing. So my question to both teams is, how are they going to bridge the gap between that? So
Alright, I see. Alright. Alright, so we will be taking some little breaks in between and everything like that. So right now I have with me Azzy.
Very nice.
Say good night to the people.
Good night, everyone.
Good, good. So right now, we're gonna go into a different segment and everything like that. So you know that we have different people vying for different positions, and most of them will be your friends, are your friends, and everything like that. So I had conversations with people and stuff, and then I spoke with a past student that was a part of the ASB and everything, and they were saying that back in their time, when it came to ASB, persons used to be a part of the subcommittees beforehand. They used to work their way up to a certain position and everything like that, because ASB is not something that you can just, hey, let me wake up and just be a part of the ASB. It's
Yeah.
something you have to know inside out. You have to know the procedures, the protocols, how to be able to get things done, how, the system works and everything like that. So that is something we also need to look at. So when it comes to that, don't just support your friend because it's your friend. Ensure that you can hold them accountable to the position that they're looking to run for. So if you know that your friend wants to do a particular position, but you know to yourself that, hey, maybe that might not be the best thing for them, don't put them in it. You're gonna put them under pressure. So that's just one other thing that we want to say. Anything you want to add to that?
Well, yeah, just dwelling on the topic that Jesse did make, which is a valid point, which is working your way up. Because, for example, men's club, you could start from a men's club or ladies club and work your way up, because sometimes you don't even know the pressure of ASB. So at least getting a little snippet or understanding of how the power system work, you could try and work from there, go up before you even start. Because imagine you just arrive and the first thing you're telling yourself is ASB. You didn't even say, let me test the subcommittee and see what these people have to deal with before I even take the role. And then just because of that, and also the friend issue, these people join these things and they risk a reputation which could have been more better if they just got some experience. So it's not about gaining something, because I ain't blaming people if you want to gain something and get a medal and go, because I would do the same thing too, but at least, earn something on your way. Like, at least earn the medal and let people tell you earned the medal. Not that you see the medal every time after graduation and you're not even proud of it.
It's
I
not
literally
about the
see
money.
a post like what Felicia posted, I think, which was like, this era was the best era, which was Lani era of freshman social.
Yep.
And we still, as I could say, certain things going to hurt people, but we need somebody to,
Speak the truth.
Yep.
make that, let somebody take over. Because if you ask right now, which was the best freshman social, people gonna still say Lani own.
Yep.
So that is what is telling the rest people something. But it ain't about events alone, it's that in general. Just like how 3D ASB was the best ASB, nobody has ever taken over that as yet. So you have to think about it. When you do whatever you do, will it be great enough to the point that it overwrites whatever history was there in the past?
That's good.
To what Jesse was saying too, a lot of us need to hold our friends accountable for what they do on the campus when it comes to leadership positions. Because yes, you could be in his love, you could be doing everything on the campus, but if you don't have the mindset to lead and want to help change or be the change, you basically taking a position and doing nothing again. We are speaking about 3D. A lot of people dislike the fact that people are still talking about what Freedy did on ASB. But let's be very frank here.
Mm.
We could say no dick riding on this thing.
Nah.
But
Mm.
if I'm being honest with you, I've watched Freedy pass elect. I've watched Freedy literally get every single member involved on his team doing something, making sure that they do what they say that they were going to do.
Yeah.
They were active. The last two SB, we had leaders there. They weren't doing anything. They weren't holding those that were in their committee accountable for the positions that they take. And now ASB, to me, became a joke. Because if you look at it too, nobody's taking it serious.
Yeah.
Nobody. So again, we need to stop, because this is my friend and they were in this leadership position. Stop being like, hey, I'm going to vote for you and put you there, when you're not doing anything. If you know you can't commit or be willing to do the job, do not put yourself there.
Yeah.
Because you're not only making the ASB looking bad, but everybody else in the school suffering because of your inaction to do something.
Yeah. And
So-
then to add to that, in terms of the statistics, right now with the list of voters, we have 3,110 persons on that list. And then when we look at how many persons would have viewed the ASB presidential debate, is just about 300 and something individuals.
Wow.
And that shows, we have
Okay.
3,000. That's just about 10% of individuals would have actually tuned in to hear what the future leaders of the ASB would have had to say about their initiatives and plans, and how they would have been able to articulate their responses towards the questions asked towards them. So we also need to find a way to be able to get more students involved in being knowledgeable about
Of
what is
going on.
happening,
Yeah.
because really and truly the students' power show forth when they elect the ASB to serve on their behalf.
Yep.
And if the students are not knowledgeable about who they're putting in a position to lead, then it affects their entire academic year, because if that ASB cannot put out the events in the various positions and stuff, it affects the university experience, it affects their personal experience and everything like that.
And they
So-
need to stop blaming admin for the problems. Guys, again, what I am going to say going to upset a few of you guys, but when you really sit down and look at it, you all understand why I'm saying this. The creativeness in the school is zero. The common sense in this school is zero.
Oh.
The last two SB, there is nothing really to show for what there is nothing to show what they did. Nothing. What has happened to the creative mindset of people in the school? Big man thing. Everything that happened, you don't get through with a plan that you want, and finance or admin is taking long to request whatever. There are other ways you could go about getting your stuff done. And you could ask Pastor Nacy. Before I continue, can you tell me, Jesse, what Pastor Nacy said about us being able to think on our own as individuals in the school to help make things better?
Yeah. Now the thing is, we have the power to be able to do what has to be done for the school. Like, yes, there may seem to be a ceiling as to what can be done by the students and everything like that, But then if you have a passion and a drive towards something and you really set your mind towards it, you can accomplish it.
Yep.
Because for example, with me, I came in here, I had an instrument, it wasn't the best. I couldn't have been able to do my junior recital with it. Like 2 years passed, I couldn't do my junior recital. But then I set out to see what is the best way in which I could be able to get that done. And then I was able to push a fundraiser concert and everything like that. And I was able to get my instrument and everything like that. So it really goes to show that there's great possibilities as to what you as an individual can do and what we as students can be able to do.
Yep.
Because I would have even met with Pastor Nisi to find out, like, is it even possible for like students to have like student led projects within their various schools to help, with the development of the school and everything like that? So it's more of us having to come together
Yep.
and really push towards these things. Yeah, we might face challenges, but we still have to be able to push through those challenges
And that's what
if
make
we
it
really
sweet.
want to think.
Yep.
So yeah, nothing good comes easy in life. That is the reality.
Yep.
And as uncomfortable as certain things may be for us, or as frustrating as things may be, if we put enough energy into creating good solutions,
Yep.
it can happen and everything like that. So if we want to see change within the administration,
Yeah,
we have
start
to
with
let
us.
them know about that. We have to push for them to change.
Yep.
You see, the power with we as students are the one that has the power to control what happens. Without students, the institution cannot function.
Very
It's
true.
as simple as that. So it's really about, knowing exactly what you want to do and having that passion and that drive to really be able to fulfill that. So we hope that the candidates, those, vowing for positions, are able to really give all they got to it and truly put their heart and soul into getting things done and making progress, true progress that we can actually say, hey, this was accomplished by XYZ because they would have made sure that it was done. They did not take no for an answer and everything like that. So we really have to be strong headed and have enough will to be able to get things done and everything like that. So yeah. We're gonna take a little break to breathe and we'll be back. Alright. So now we're gonna go through the manifesto from each team. Not sure if we're gonna be able to cover everything, but we're starting with team reform. So their vision statement says, Our vision is to create a student body where every individual feels heard, valued, and empowered. We aim to cultivate a unified campus culture that fosters connections across all campuses, strengthening relationships throughout the entire university. By bridging these connections, we seek to build a more cohesive and inclusive community. Our goal is to leave a lasting legacy of student-centered servant leadership where small intentional actions lead to significant unity and meaningful impact for our future generations at USC. It's really nice to see that the manifestos are always well put together.
Yeah. But when it's time for action to happen,
Alright, the mission statement. We will realize this vision by taking intentional, purposeful steps to promote unity, collaboration, and meaningful progress through strategic partnerships and open dialogue. We will actively listen to students, understand their needs, and work collectively to cultivate a campus culture that empowers all individuals. Our efforts will be guided by a steadfast commitment to serving students and fostering a connected USC where every member can thrive. One legacy, one USC. They have their pillars. So we're gonna just oh boy, words. So the president's address, 2 pages long. Colonel Williams, blah 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 blah. Okay. Reform.
I was trying to remember if he was a subcommittee before, like on a men's club or under anybody.
yeah, you was
Yeah,
on
men's club.
Men's club, okay.
Yeah.
So,
So-
he stuff.
Why reform? Reform is not just about change for the sake of change. It's about improvement. It's about re-evaluating systems, questioning norms, and rebuilding our community into something stronger, more inclusive, and more effective. Reform is the courage to say we can do better and then to act.
Oh, another one.
Alright, so straight into the plans. So we have fostering a vibrant relationship that promotes one USC. Now, like, ever since I've heard this one USC thing, it's reminded me of something, but I can't put my hands on it. Like, one what? I know there's one people, one nation, one destiny. But, Alright. So, alright, his statement starts by I want to cultivate a united campus community across all campuses, departments, and student groups. This will be done through the organization of cross-campus events. Cross-campus, okay. Forums and competitions, both academic and recreational, to break down silos and foster a sense of unity among students from various schools and campuses within USC. No longer there will be, okay, that's probably an error. No longer will there be segregation between dorm students and day students. The objective is to improve USC's culture that is all about togetherness, improvement of campus life, creating a safer space, making it more engaging, supportive environment, to advocate for better maintenance and expansion of recreational facilities, study spaces, dormitory resources, events, entertainments. Alright, so we have anything to say on this? Any thoughts to share?
Well, I don't know. Because for me, I can get the mindset behind of it and what he's pushing towards, right? But for me, we have to understand we have to grab people's attention, and we can't be telling them things that are just there. We just listing things and there's no context behind them. We're just saying what we're going to plan to do with it, and these are the topics that are going behind them, but there's no they can never pick nothing from them. They're just gonna hear this, and all they will do is make their own idea out of it, which might make them have high expectations than what you are planning to bring.
Yeah.
So if you plan to bring them something, at least give them an idea so that when they see it, they know that that's what they were expecting. Because when you're telling them things like that, they already making an idea. What they plan to do? This. And then now, when you come and bring an event, they're like, alright, cool. And now this is the same ASB again.
So, is it basically is now up to standard?
Well, okay.
I get what you're saying, you know.
Yeah.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, yes, all of this is nicely written, well said. But why you saying this is what as he basically saying, like, with the context, why is it that you want to, you know, unify, make our one USC as what it is saying here?
Yeah. And he, at least he could have been able to like share, since he was already in this already, in the ASB, so he has a view of how it was and what it's like. He was vice president, so he get a more closer contact than anybody in the committee other than the president, right? So he's supposed to know that, you know, there's certain things that if you say it not gonna really hit, or what should be said, what people wouldn't like to hear, you know, because for example, the amount of words you're given, the most people that would read through that is most likely Lafleur. Anybody else not reading that, not even the president himself would reach through it. So you have to give something that people will enjoy. For example, I was speaking to someone and I was telling them the only promotion that actually captured my eyes was the one done by Javanica, because she just did a whole creativity, and from that she could have get my vote. She didn't have to do a whole long thing and had to make it professional, because promoting doesn't have to be professional. When you're watching real life election, and I know it's hard to compare real life election to a ASB, but when they're doing that, you hear them playing some type of bacchanal song with a lingo, you know, and it's actually something that catches the eye. That's why there's always the lingo that people like, when UNC win, everybody wins, right?
That, I ain't gonna lie, that would be tough if one of the teams. I was expecting Renault to say that, you know. Once we form win, everybody wins.
Yeah.
So they could have used up a lingo, a new trending phrase they can use to mix with their stuff to catch people's eyes. That's why for me, Javanica is the only thing that caught the eye up to now. But everybody want to sit down and have their hand to clasp together, sitting, looking at you and me. And they think them looking serious in this is what's going to catch you. People don't want no seriousness because they're planning to graduate, so all the fun going to be gone when they graduate. So they want all the fun in the moment. So they're not looking for somebody that's going to be dead serious and be boring because they're not going to listen. All this, if you can go individually to random people, ask them anything if they know about manifesto. They don't know anything, they're not reading through this. And you never needed this to get the team on. You just had to sign up some things. So
and then to comment on that, like, you know, there's a lot of formal documentation and everything like that, formal flyers and posters and stuff. And like today I was looking at some old campus vibes. I don't know, well, you're supposed to know campus vibes. During Anton and them. Yeah, so I was looking back at like campus vibes and how they used to, you know, do their media and stuff and everything, and they would also plug in everything that was happening around you on campus in a way that captivates you, makes you laugh and everything like that. It was very comedic, but you also got the message of what was happening at the time within the institution and everything like that. So we need more creative ways of sharing information. I believe we would have fallen into a loop of just using TikToks to push promotional stuff. Like, it's kind of and then we also want to call like more people to be involved in like just creating content, create campus content, create university content, because it helps like those who are coming in to see what is happening within the institution. I know I'm going on a different trajectory,
No, no.
but yeah, because like the thing is like when I was now looking to come here, I was checking YouTube. Okay, let me see what people would have posted about this. Cause if you go to a campus or if you looking to enroll in a university in the states, there's always a moving vlog. There's always information on life on dorm as a freshman, sophomore, senior, things you need to know. So we need more content curated like that that gives students the information in a good way that they actually engage and accept it. And then another thing on this same point, even when it comes to like USC's official pages and everything like that, we need to have like student takeovers where students are able to share their a day in their life and everything like that. I know Kalen was one
doing
that
that,
used
yes.
to be putting out content on a regular. Big up to you. That was really great. You'd have made us enjoy being at USC. So it's things like that that really brings life to what happens in USC and everything like that. Now back to the whole manifestos and everything. And the reality is there will be similarities in everyone's manifesto.
Mm.
Everyone will have good points to make, enhancing senior class experience, strengthening inter-club collaboration and support, academic recognition, trying to include everybody and stuff. So everyone has plans for fostering unity and inclusion and everything like that. So it really boils down to the individuals and the teams and how committed they are to getting the job done.
Yeah.
It really comes down to that at the end of the day.
Yeah.
One thing that I'm looking at too as well. There's a lot of individuals in the school that have links to people and other stuff outside of school. I don't know why previous ASB members weren't using that to its full potential. They could have gotten a lot of stuff done as well too. So my aim for the team that is going on, even though some members of your team might not get to be on your team because of how the voting system goes, I don't believe that you should push that person idea away. You should be able to bring them still on your team in the subcommittee and get their views and find individuals on the campus who can help y'all in your goals that y'all are setting.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. There's people on the dorm as well. For example, Michael Garcia. Don't sleep on Michael. Michael knows a lot of people, guys. Use him. So, yeah.
Oh, and the channels too.
And
Going
yes.
on Jesse thing. Because I remember a time you were talking about that. Pushing things like sporting, stream them things. Because there's not everybody that can go and take a trip to go all the way down that side to go and watch a match, a netball, a volleyball. So just to stream it, at least stream something.
Or at least the socials could constantly update us on what is happening in the game and everything.
I like that we're talking about
So,
that because I have a problem with the people that was in leadership for sports. Why is it that we never know about the games that were happening
until after.
yeah, and then if we had gone support, our teams would have win, bro. You understand?
The reason why the men's volleyball be getting ducks is because we not in the stands.
Yes, guys. So please, again, whoever's going there, and you see, it all boils back down to the advertising, Jesse and Hazi.
And then another thing, like listen, people have been heavy on the sports. People want the sports. People are, like for example, Ayadali, big advocate when it comes to sport and events and everything like that. We need sports to be taken more seriously within the school and everything like that. Bro, we know we have Centennial coming up. There's plans to do XYZ and all that stuff. But like whatever can be done now,
Yeah.
let's be able to do things
Yeah.
now. Let's be able to make things a bit better for sporting. Let's be able to get a few things that just makes those students experience better when it comes to sporting. Because these students put in hard practice sessions. I know the
Yeah.
volleyball team, they are committed. Like
Every day.
every night when they have their sessions, intense workout. My
Yeah.
boy Azel, two bags of ice on his knees every night, bro. Yep. They be running up the hill. The guys on the basketball team, yo, those men could ball. I try playing with them. I can't keep up. Like, I thought I was athletic, bro. Like 2 runs and I ready to tap out. So, hey, big respect to those who are 100% committed to sports and everything like that. Netball team, football guys, people in cricket. You know, even if there's a sport that I didn't mention, even guys interested in table tennis, you know, we play that for recreation and everything like that. Big up to you all. Continue putting in the work and everything like that. And hey, push and apply pressure to those in charge of the teams. Push and apply pressure to those in charge of sports. Ensure they get the things that you need. You know.
Mind you, we're
Mm.
not. I just want to make one thing clear. We're not saying, hey, go there and make a big change one time and then
Nah.
it flop. Everything takes time.
Mm,
I mean, you could start the process, guys, but I'm telling you, once the next person is there, you could then give them your idea for them to continue with it so that it could
Yeah.
reach where you envision it to be. So don't think that we having this conversation saying, hey, putting all that pressure on you to be like, hey, they want us to do some big things. Don't work
Nah.
like that.
And
You start small and you eventually get there.
Yeah, and then the thing is, when it comes to ASB, each ASB, it shouldn't seem as though every ASB is trying to establish their own legacy. It should be a continuation
Or
of what
remove-
would have been happening from before. So
Hey.
I know when it comes to the campaign period, each team, you know, they say, hey, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that,
Oh
and they're
my
strong minded
gosh.
in their plans. But we have to ensure that we are continuing what has already been set and just elevating that to a higher standard and a higher degree and everything like that.
Big up Freedy.
Yeah.
Just big up Freedy, right? Nah.
To be able to go to Tobago though.
Yeah.
I ain't seen nobody catching the flight as yet.
Hey, big up Freedy.
They had something else I was gonna mention when it was yeah. And the thing is, at the end of this ASB, when the results come out, whoever has majority of seats or whoever has the position and stuff, Team Endeavor and Team Reform has to come together as one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they both have good plans. They both want to take the everything into a good direction and everything like that. So coming out of this, you know, seeing that we're talking about one USC and bridging the gap, we need to see unity when it comes to the ASB leaders, when it comes to those being within the subcommittees and everything like that. So after elections, when results come out, we should still be able to see both members of Team Reform and Team Endeavor working together to ensure that things happen for us as students here. So it's not to say that, hey, oh, this person got a seat, I didn't get it, I can just sit back and do what I had to do in my corner.
Don't let your
But we can
feelings.
still, yeah.
Don't let your feelings
So,
get between.
This
Yeah.
this post-election results, post-election is where you will now show us, hey, we are actually starting to bridge the gap
Yeah.
in our leadership and everything like that. So we want people who are truly committed to working to be a part of the subcommittees. Don't try to put the team's plan above the other and everything, but ensure that we can be able to merge both the goals of Team Reform and Team Endeavor and we can be able to see those things happening throughout the academic year and everything like that. So we're gonna take a quick break from this segment because it has been a long one, and it also has been a very essential one as well. Alright, so we're back in again. This time, power plays. Now, during the campaign, we've been, some might say, bombarded by posters and information on and from different candidates and everything like that. We saw, you know, a lot of endorsements coming out and everything like that. So today, I believe all of us would have seen, Bijan
Bijan.
Pierre endorsing
Endeavor.
Team Endeavor. So people are pulling out the hat tricks and everything like that. So all right, so
Hey.
I was just corrected. I said information. Information. So, we have the teams pulling out hat tricks, getting endorsements by people that we see day to day. So, I know many of us know Bijan Pierre, one of our local artists and everything like that. Big up to him. We also saw Team Reform pulling out a hat trick as well with their endorsement from Mr. Darren Sandy. Yes. So it's interesting, there's been some pretty intense campaigns going on, Team Reform with their live stream. I would have tuned in, I would have dropped some questions for them to answer and everything like that. Team Endeavor, well, I didn't get to see what the live stream was about, but I would have checked through the clips that they would have posted in their highlights and stuff. They would have touched on some good topics and everything like that. So both teams have good candidates vouching for positions and stuff. I know there's the unopposed positions, which we can say they're already a part of the ASB and everything like that.
Yeah.
So we just hope for the best from them and they push and that they actually get through with their plans and everything like that. Because there's always good plans. We just hope that it comes out successful. And then back to Team Reform. I see Team Reform making songs. Have we seen the song?
Yeah, the lingo.
Reform! Let me see if I could find it and I'll probably play it later and everything like that. But
Yes.
yeah, Team Reform has enough time to create jingles. So, while
What
Team
we sing?
Endeavor,
The singing ASB.
the singing ASB, as some are saying. So, we've seen Team Endeavor has been meeting with the people, meeting with past students, meeting with students of different groups and everything like that. You could probably give me some insight as to the conversations that would have been going on that. Okay.
With Team Endeavor.
Yeah.
Um, okay. From what I've seen, and I'm going to lie to you, Team Endeavor look like they're ready. Yep, they're ready to work. I like that. You understand? So, I am not going to say who y'all should vote for because that's not what we're doing here. But all I'm going to say, guys, this is why I needed y'all to look at the debate so that y'all will understand what's going on, right? Again, don't vote for your friends. Vote for what's right. Ask the tough questions. You have from now until tomorrow morning. Well, what time,
7 a.m. to
Who they reaching out to right now?
They still can't talk to members on the team?
Yeah,
Or-
they could have conversations with them. Right now, it's just candidates that can't actually promote content and stuff, but other students can push content, they can ask questions and everything like that. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, it's the students I'm speaking to, so y'all could still
Do something.
ask the questions before you
Yeah.
put in your vote. So, but from what I'm seeing, I'm not going to lie to y'all guys. Endeavor is doing a good job.
Right.
So,
Alright.
If you're really the friends.
one thing is though,
Mm.
Endeavor could have done a little bit more
Mm.
with their social media,
Oh yeah.
putting out more,
Mm.
but yeah, they did a good job.
Alright. Alright.
Where is you
Alright. So, still speaking about campaign and stuff, is I find this year's ASB campaign has been interesting. Well, we know last year it was just, team vision and stuff, so there wasn't anything to see in terms of who's really putting in the work and everything like that. But this year, I believe like there has been persons who have been like following what has been going on, and there are persons who have been, in their own group chats and everything, conversing and everything like that.
Yeah.
So even for me, like I find this is like the first time I'm actually like locking in
on
on an
any
ASB
yeah,
election. I don't know why, because like I don't know. This week I was like, gee boy, why don't I just like talk about it from like a student perspective, like see what other people are saying, because like I have my YouTube channel. I do university content sometimes when I can. I say I need a camera. Israel tells me I don't. But anyways, so yeah, so it's like it's interesting to follow because we have the teams, you know, different people, different individuals. Some we've seen work, some that we know are capable of being able to complete the responsibilities that they set or intend to do and everything like that. And okay, so the balance. Let's talk about the teams and the balance of the teams. So, the whole thing about dorm students being the majority and everything like that. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, there's some people who recruited people outside the dorm because of um, that statement, and there's some people who pick people who are off campus because they know they are suited for the position, and that's where you determine who to pick and who not to pick. Because don't pick somebody because, well, people have this stigma that is only down people, so you just chose this person because they're outside the campus, or you pick them because they have some type of connection to people outside campus. If you have so much faith in this team you're going up with, you could go up with the worst people and you know your outcome will be a great impact. Not that you need people with great impact to make one. Because if you're the leader, you don't need powerful people to make a powerful team.
Yep.
You're a great leader, you will make a team great, whether they're at their worst. I well, I can't really use 3D team because, to be honest, they
Again?
actually did good.
Big up 3D.
Yeah, big up. Because I was speaking on the steps today about how Alreen was doing well for the finance thing, because she was actually keeping up with people to get the scholarship done.
Yeah.
I remember she pulled me aside in the hall asking me about that scholarship thing. Even when the due date passed, and she was like, she would still push people if they were willing. She even, after she spoke to me, she went straight through the lounge and went to them and was like, anybody wants it? Anybody wants it? We're still pushing for scholarships even though the deadline is past. For them to be pushing that, I'm not saying nobody did no scholarships, but I can't even remember if there was any scholarships happening. But for them to at least go out to each and every person, even though they know they don't mingle with these people, that's to show how much dedication you're putting to it.
It shows that they actually want to help people and see people succeed, and that's the issue, Ati. That's the issue, because we just having people they taking positions just for taking position's sake and it looking good on your resume. I mean, yes, that's nice, but then what are you doing to show that, hey, I leave an impact while I was there?
Right? They even have the
Okay.
statement, if you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah.
So if you know your accomplishment was to surpass what Freedy did, and you know you're not getting through on your own, he's right there. He's willing to help. He done already do what he needed to do. So if you go to him, he will help you.
Yep.
We literally had a men's club meeting sometime this week. I won't give us specifications because we are always giving out our business when it comes to men's club. So we had a meeting and he actually had a time where he spoke to, I think it was both presidents, right?
Yeah.
Who were elected. So he was still able to offer information even though he know he has a reputation already set. So it's not difficult to go to him and ask for information. You can't think
Thank
so
you.
highly of yourself to the point you feel like, oh, I go back to him, he going to feel like he must take. Even if he wants to take his credit, it's his credit at the end of the day. He earned it that way.
And well, a correction to that, he doesn't take credit for his accomplishments.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
I would have had conversations with him and stuff, and how he would say it is that not his team, but the ASB would have been able to accomplish X, Y, and Z. So it's never about him, glorifying himself and stuff. When it came to the ASB work and stuff, it was always the ASB would have been able to accomplish these things and stuff. So just to add to that, because he would he would call that out.
Yeah, that's true. So
Yeah.
you know, it's,
And then, there's been a lot of talk and buzz in the chat because, the commuting students and the local students, are questioning whether dorm students are capable enough to, manage the entire student body and everything like that. And we know for dorm students, they do take on a lot of roles and responsibilities and everything like that. So, the teams, they seem fairly balanced with a decent mix of local and international students and everything like that. So we just hope that the local students feel as though they are individuals that are there to advocate for them and to, make their voice heard, and so that they can feel represented through the ASB body and everything like that. So, yeah, we'll take another break. Alright, so we're back and we're gonna wrap this up with closing thoughts and everything like that. So once again, we just wishing the best to each candidate and everything from the various teams. We want to see unity and everything like that. We know what we want to be able to see. We know what we always want good for the university and everything like that. And we want not just the ASB candidates, but us as USC students on a whole to be able to come together and be united. You know, we should have a rich campus vibe where we are not afraid to socialize with people and make friends and everything like that. Because I find sometimes, in all honesty, as dorm students, we tend to cling together. We really tend to cling together a lot. Because even when there's some of the events and stuff, all dorm students on one bus. So we want to be able to like mingle and not just be together at everything. Interact with the local students and everything like that. Ensure you make friends. We want to be able to like be more social. We should be able to create lasting memories that those that come after us is like, hey, this group of students was good. The vibe across the entire campus was great. Because I know, like, when I came in and stuff, it was people from like post COVID that had like a real good connection and stuff. Because, like, growing up, you hear, our parents and everybody is like, hey, USC was good and everything like that. And it's like, to this day, they still have strong bonds, good friendships, and everything like that with students all across, with individuals all across the globe and everything like that. So we want to ensure that we maintain that level of camaraderie among ourselves. I know during this campaign, it might seem as though there's bickering and everything like that, but that just comes with the nature of campaigning and everything like that. You know, it's all fun, all jokes, but let's, be able to get serious when it's time to get serious and be able to put our hands to the plow and work and everything like that. So we just encouraging all students to be engaged with what is happening, you know, look out for what the ASB team is doing and try as best as possible to be present. And if it is that there are things happening that you are concerned about, ensure that you can reach out to them, contact them, and make things known. Don't be afraid to speak up or inform them about things. And for those who might not be in the known or don't know how to get information, make it your duty to always know what is happening on campus. So don't just, come, go to classes, and then just hide away and stuff, but try to live a good, holistic campus experience and everything like that. So that's my final thoughts for the night. Do have a good rest. For those of you that would have stayed and watched through the entire stream, thank you, and we wish you all the best for those that are within this third semester and for those in the next academic year to come. I hope that you are preparing yourselves and everything like that. So thank you for tuning in. Remember to like, comment, share. Also be sure to follow, USC's official platform, the ASB's official platform, and everything like that. Because, the views and the subscriptions on those platforms are low, and that is where you will be able to get your information from. For those of you that would have unsubscribed from USC's official, email and stuff, please find a way to resubscribe, because this is where you gain all the information as to what is taking place. Yes, the emails might seem, like a lot, but this is where we get and receive our information and everything like that. And even though something might not show up in our emails, we have different groups and hubs that the information can be shared. But don't spam it. If you're sending it, ensure you reach out to any of the community admins so that they can send it in the community so that it goes across the board and everything like that. So have a good night, and this is goodbye from us.
Peace,
Yes,
love.
sir.
And
And
here
here
is
is. Yeah.